Hi, I'm Shauna Fishhaber with VA Disability Group. Today we'll be discussing the additional state benefits available to Indiana veterans who have a 100% rating with the VA, as well as a few other benefits veterans should be aware of. We understand that navigating all the available options can be overwhelming. We hope this information will help simplify the process and point you in the right direction to take advantage of these benefits. Visit our website where we will have more detailed information regarding eligibility and application processes. We will have a link in the description box below. Indiana has one state veterans home in West Lafayette. Eligibility is based on clinical need and setting availability. Each state establishes its own eligibility and admission criteria for its homes. The Indiana Veterans Home in West Lafayette provides nursing and domiciliary care for any honorably discharged veteran who has resided in Indiana for at least 12 months prior to admission. The home is open to both veterans and their spouses. Gold Star parents are also accepted. There is a fee, and we recommend that you talk with a VA social worker near you about eligibility requirements and to create a payment plan. Indiana has 5 national cemeteries and 2 state cemeteries. National burial benefits include a gravesite in any of the VA national cemeteries with available space, opening and closing of the grave, perpetual care, a government headstone, marker, or medallion, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate at no cost to the family. Burial benefits are available for spouses and dependents as well. Keep in mind that state cemeteries eligibility is similar to national cemeteries, but may include residency requirements. Indiana offers some tax breaks to resident service members, veterans, and their families. Up to $5,000 of active duty pay is tax-free. Eligible non-resident military spouses do not have to pay Indiana income tax for wages earned in Indiana. Military retired pay is exempt from Indiana income tax. Military disability retired pay that is received as a pension, annuity, or similar allowance should not be included in taxable income. Some of these payments include disability compensation and pension payments for disabilities paid to veterans or their families, grants for homes designed for wheelchair living, grants for motor vehicles for veterans who lost their sight or the use of limbs, or benefits under a dependent care assistance program. Property tax deductions are available to resident disabled veterans who have an honorable discharge. This amount is deducted from the value of your home for tax purposes, leaving you with a smaller property tax bill. Indiana offers several tax deductions that can be combined in a variety of ways, not all of which are exclusive to veterans. We recommend contacting your local tax assessor to learn more. Today we will look at the tax exemptions that are specifically for veterans. The first exemption is for totally disabled veterans or veterans at least 62 years old with a disability of 10% or more. The exemption amounts to about $14,000. The applicant must own or be under contract to buy the home on the day the application is submitted. The applicant must have served for at least 90 days and was honorably discharged. Additionally, the applicant must be either totally disabled or at least 62 with at least a 10% disability rating. The assessed value of the property should not be greater than $200,000. A surviving spouse may receive this deduction. This deduction can be claimed with all other deductions except the over 65 deduction. Next is the deduction for a homestead donated to a veteran. The amount of the deduction varies based on veteran's disability. It will be at least 50% and up to 100% of the assessed value of the homestead. The applicant must have served for at least 90 days, received an honorable discharge, and have a disability rating of at least 50%. The homestead must have been conveyed without charge to the individual who is the owner of the homestead by an organization that is exempt from income taxation. This deduction can be claimed with all other deductions except the totally disabled veteran deduction, veteran with service-connected disability deduction, and over 65 deduction. The next exemption is for a veteran with a service-connected disability. The amount of this deduction is around $25,000. The applicant must own or be under contract to purchase the property on the date the application is filed. The applicant must have received an honorable discharge after serving in any of its wars. A service-connected disability of at least 10% is required. Surviving spouses may receive this deduction as well. This deduction can be claimed with all other deductions except the over 65 deduction and the surviving spouse of World War I veteran deduction. Lastly, there is an exemption for the surviving spouse of a World War I veteran. The amount of this deduction is about $18,700. The surviving spouse must own or be under contract to buy the property on the date the application is filed. The applicant is the surviving spouse of a person who served before November 12, 1918. The applicant may claim this deduction with all other deductions except the over 65 deduction and the veteran with service-connected disability deduction. For all other exemptions, any unused portion of the deduction may be applied to the personal property taxes and then excise taxes for either a motor vehicle or an aircraft. Annual refiling is often required, and you should contact your local county tax assessor for more information on filing. The Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles offers a variety of distinctive license plates for military personnel and veterans. One of the plates offered is for veterans who require access to handicapped parking. The disabled Hoosier veteran plate is issued with no group or administrative fees to qualified veterans. To receive this plate, the veteran must be 50% service-connected disabled, with at least 60% of that disability attributed to a mobility disability, or the service-connected disability precludes the veteran from walking without pain or difficulty. If it is unclear that your service-connected disability is causing you pain or difficulty while walking, a signed doctor's letter may be required. This license plate allows the veteran to park in any legal metered space in Indiana and not be charged a fee when displaying this plate. Contact your local BMV for required documentation and applications. The Military Family Relief Fund aids veterans and their families that need emergency funds to pay for food, housing, utilities, medical services, transportation, and other essential family support expenses which have become difficult to afford. To be eligible, the veteran must be a resident of Indiana and have either an honorable discharge, under honorable conditions, or certain other than honorable discharge code. The applicant must prove genuine financial hardship. The household income cannot exceed 2 times the U.S. federal poverty guidelines. There is a lifetime limit of $2,500 of assistance available to each veteran. Veterans who are seeking full-time state employment may be eligible to receive additional preference points added to their examination. The preference points are equal to 10% of the total number of points on the examination. To be eligible to receive preference points, you must have served on active duty in the Armed Forces of the United States for at least 181 days and received an honorable discharge. The BMV may waive the required skills test for select veterans or active duty personnel who were truck drivers during their military service if the applicant applies within 1 year of discharge and meets all requirements. All applicants must pass the required written tests, prove they are currently or were recently regularly employed in a military position requiring operation of a CMV within 1 year. You must also certify that during the 2 years immediately preceding the application for an Indiana CDL, certain requirements were met. To begin the application process, visit a BMV branch where they can provide more information about applications and required documentation. Honorably discharged veterans may receive a free vending license. The license permits a veteran to vend, hawk, and peddle goods, wares, fruits, and merchandise in the Indiana county in which they apply. Keep in mind that you will be subject to all county, city, or town regulations and ordinances concerning vendors, hawkers, or peddlers, except for those provisions requiring payment of money to obtain a license. See your county auditor for more information on the necessary documents and the application process. IN Vets is a nonprofit organization founded by veterans that helps former service members transition to civilian life by connecting them with Indiana employers and providing career-building resources. Resources are available to help spouses with career opportunities as well. If you're searching for employment options, IN Vets is a great resource. The Indiana VA offers grants to nonprofit organizations that provide a variety of services that benefit veterans. The Indiana VA curates a list of grant recipients so veterans can utilize their services. These featured organizations provide various types of assistance. Some examples include assistance for homeless veterans, transportation assistance, legal services, short-term financial assistance, motorcycle workshops, and employment opportunities. Indiana offers a variety of educational benefits to resident veterans and their dependents. It is important to note that state educational benefits can often be used in conjunction with the national educational benefits, such as the DEA program. If you're interested in learning more about the DEA program, check out our national benefits video. Indiana offers free or discounted tuition at state schools to the children of disabled veterans, Purple Heart recipients and their children, and the children of POWs and those that are MIA. These state aid programs provide eligible students with a tuition exemption for up to 124 hours at many state-supported schools. Approved students will have 8 academic years to use the 124 hours after they use the exemption for the first time. Students must also complete a FAFSA application each year they intend to use the exemption. Paper applications are no longer accepted for this benefit. The student must apply for this benefit on ScholarTrack. We will have this link on our website. There are 4 state aid programs for tuition and fee exemption that the IDVA determines eligibility for through ScholarTrack. In addition to the information provided on ScholarTrack, every campus has a veterans liaison that can provide more information and assist regarding eligibility. If you are a veteran that served in World War I or II, Korea, or Vietnam, and left high school for military service, you may be eligible to receive your diploma. Veterans or their surviving spouses or eligible family members may submit an application to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Indiana residents who are former POWs or their surviving spouses are entitled to a free Indiana Golden Hoosier passport. These are mailed automatically at the beginning of each year. A Hoosier Golden Passport provides unlimited admission to all Indiana state-owned parks, recreation areas, reservoirs, and forests on an annual basis. The pass is good for 1 calendar year. Persons eligible for a disabled Hoosier veteran's license plate may purchase the annual Hoosier Golden Passport at the DNR facilities around the state at a 50% reduced cost. If you have disabled Hoosier veteran plates on your vehicle, simply drive to the gate and the attendant will sell you the annual Hoosier Golden Passport. Any Indiana resident who has a service-connected disability with the VA can buy an Indiana hunting and fishing license for a reduced fee. The current cost of the license is $2.75 and covers the hunting of small game as well as fishing, excluding any stamps. Or you can buy a 10-year DAV license for $27.50. The DAV license is for small game hunting or fishing only. Additional stamps can be purchased to affix to your DAV license. Your first DAV license must be purchased at the DNR Customer Service Center or property. Afterward, online purchases can be made for for future licenses. Each county auditor is authorized to pay up to $100 for the burial of a veteran or a veteran's spouse. An additional $100 can be awarded for the setting of a federal headstone. Veterans must have received an honorable discharge, and an application must be filed with the county auditor in the county of residence. Thank you for joining me to discuss the ancillary benefits for disabled Indiana veterans. Check out the description box below for helpful links and to access other helpful tools on our website.